All right, just like that, we're live.
Hey,
Yo.
I'm just finding the doc again. I
back
didn't
once
remember that.
again with Nathan.
Yeah,
Woo.
I'm back.
Yes. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me again. I continue to play video games, so hopefully they're not too old.
Good. Nope, I'm glad to hear it. Paul, how have you been in the last week?
I've been okay. I'm exhausted. So today was my last dentist appointment for the problems I've been having, the checkup and all that stuff, but that was in the morning. I'm not a morning person, so I'm pretty tired.
Okay. Well, I mean, speaking of dentist, I found out today I get to have a root canal.
Okay, I had one of those about 5 or 6 years ago. It was not as bad, I would say, as some other things that could happen to you, but it's not great.
Okay. Did you have to get a crown or a cap?
I think they just filled it. Yeah, I guess a cap. They probably did a cap.
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
even think about it. Yeah.
I would assume you would. I'm assuming you would know if there's something on your tooth, but I mean, I don't really know how it works entirely.
They probably told me, but I don't know. I don't feel
While
it.
they fixed it, I trust the expert.
It's that's kind of it. Yeah. And it was a dentist that I don't visit often because it was kind of an emergency. Like, this needs to get done because it hurts like hell when I suck in air in that spot.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of like, I think it's Sunridge Dental, just at the mall because it was open. So it's just fix me up or whatever. And they're like, okay, you need a root canal. It's going to be this much. And that's the part.
Yeah, my issue isn't the tooth; it's like the root inside of it. This all has to do with the injury and stuff.
Sure.
So my dentist doesn't want to put a crown on because the tooth itself is fine. And from what they were explaining to me is you only need the crown or the cap if the tooth's stability
is
in question.
Yeah.
Like if you crack your tooth,
sure,
or it's eroding or something like that. So my tooth is fine, but so I'm hoping I don't need the crown. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm supposed to have some kind of consultation with a specialist soon. Nathan, how's your teeth?
Oh, pretty good. I think I have a routine appointment in April. So
nice.
Yeah. Nothing to report really though. Except last major thing, they filed my teeth wrong for a night. So weird. I had my bite off and it was terrible. I couldn't eat a burger comfortably, so
yeah.
That's my only
There's a bite off.
dentistry. It's the tooth was slightly too tall or too tall, I guess. So it was biting down on one point.
Yeah.
My bite.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That makes sense. Understand. Got it.
When you're at the dentist, what do you put on the television?
I get asked every time, do you want the remote? And I just say no, because I'm not here to watch TV. I'm here for you to do your fucking job so I can get out of here. I don't want to be... I don't want any of this stuff. Just go.
Into that.
Just go.
Do you guys go to a children's dentist or something? Who gets a TV?
They totally have a TV over everything. So it's great, Simpsons or baseball is on, and I can just try to focus on that. It's bad when I do laugh though, because it's during that.
Yeah.
But they know to pause on occasion when Homer does something great. But yeah.
That's weird. The TV's just there, and they ask me if I want to change the channel. I just say no because again, kind of I'm not a child. It's kind of
defaults to TV reality cooking shows or something, and I can't have those on.
Jerry Springer's on, and you're like, no, you can leave it. This is good. This is what I'm here for.
No, well, so one of the times Seinfeld was on, and I was like, oh shit, am I going to associate this episode now with what's happening here? That seems like a problem. But every other time it's been curling. So now I do have a little bit of when I'm watching curling, I'm just uncomfortable a little bit.
It's
a little bit, yeah.
Association. Yeah.
I have never been to a dentist that had a TV for you to watch. I have been to a dentist where they put some posters up on the ceiling if you wanted to look at those.
Oh,
yes, that was my childhood dentist Nerdry. That's all I had to fixate on was oh, they have a kite up there. I'll just stare at it and think about it.
Was it the one by the Roxy by chance? if you remember.
No, it's like near Treasure Cove, if that helps.
Oh, it was on the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and then
I found
down
it
here
weird.
It's just the ceiling. Just look at the ceiling.
Yeah, I found it weird that there's like a TV there as well, because when they put you back to work on your teeth, I can't like see it well either. It's not like a ceiling TV, which I have been to an emergency dentist where they had that as well, but like yeah, I don't know why they even have it. I guess actually probably for children so they can watch something.
Or patients like me. But yeah, it helps, I swear.
Sure. I'm assuming in the future it'll just be, they'll put you in like VR and you'll just be like
just forget that you're having dentistry done.
Yeah, you'll be in like the metaverse at like a nightclub or something.
Yeah.
While they're working on their mouth.
It would kind of make sense because you have to put glasses on anyways, since they have like flashlights shining at your face a whole bunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would they tell you to like open wider or whatever?
They would just like
tap.
Yeah.
System of lights in the world.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're at a nightclub and like, you know, like a good looking lady comes over and she just whispers in your ear, "Hey, I need you to open your mouth a little wider." And it's like, okay, this is very immersive.
Or it's like, you know, when you're at a nightclub. I haven't been to a nightclub in like 15 years, so you know when you're like at a nightclub, and or like a cliche thing where a DJ's like, "Put your hands up" or whatever. Maybe it's like, "Open up wider." Well, you're just like
down for me. Nope, too much.
Move your tongue. Woo. Yeah. Dentist.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is the top-down perspective.
Yeah.
As you can tell.
Earlier, I could have tied it in with like, oh, they had N64s in the waiting room at mine, but
yeah.
I missed it.
I mean,
the only place that's not true. One of the main places I played the original Pokemon Snap was my dentist's office.
That's where I played Star Fox 64.
Like, worn out.
Probably.
Anyway.
I don't recall the time because this was the kids' dentist. You know the ones where they put the TVs up top.
So, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't tell you for sure. It was definitely one of the like kind of like McDonald's-esque kiosks where it's like this thing is designed to withstand like a kid climbing on it if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Top-down perspective, March 24th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
And I'm Nathan Rohr. I guess we're doing last names. I realized halfway through.
I mean, is it a question?
No, that is my last name.
Why don't you tell us what you've been playing, Nathan?
Okay. Well, continuing from the last time I was here, I played the rest of Bloodborne, including the Old Hunters DLC.
Nice.
I enjoyed it quite a lot. I got that platinum trophy. I did feel like the natural ending to the core game was really surprising to me. Like, I didn't feel that end boss was the end boss until it was like, credits, it's over. That was it. And it's like, oh, I've heard there's secret endings though. So surely when I get the real ending, then it will all, build up to some big awesome thing. And it kind of didn't. It was just like there's one extra thing.
Was Gehrman your final boss?
Yeah. Well, no. Eventually there was the Moon Mother or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
The, dark thing. But I kind of thought there'd be a change of venue or like a new world to go through or something. But it was just like, nope. It's just another fight. Whatever Estus you have left, or sorry, blood vials.
Yep.
You can use there. But I beat it like first time at that point because it was like new playthrough 3 or something. I guess I felt the Old Hunters final boss was like more dramatic, like the orphan
Maria.
Of Koss.
Oh, Koss. That Maria's like the good boss in that DLC. I like that boss fight a lot.
Oh, in the clock tower.
In the clock tower, she's awesome.
She was okay, but then the clock world opened and there was the fish world. The Cthulhu stuff.
Yeah,
I really like the general monster design and kind of atmosphere, but it just more dramatic pacing or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall quite enjoyed it. The Chalice dungeons, which you told me how to do, I finally started doing those.
Okay.
I probably did too many of them. Eventually, it just became like, oh, I'm just seeing the same tile sets and like the same basic design over and over. But there's at least one trophy associated with a boss that you get in that, and that ended up being the last thing I did, was the Queen of Pethumaru.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
I'm assuming you've played Bloodborne PSX also, Paul.
I have.
Like,
Yeah.
Is it kind of like truncated and like paced out differently? Like, I kind of wasn't understanding that it wasn't just a straight remake until partway through it, and then I got confused.
No, it's kind of its own thing. It's like very, very similar to just kind of the starting area of Bloodborne, but there's definitely differences in it that
there's more lamps and checkpoints and kind of different enemies. Yeah.
Different enemy layouts, and when you get to Gascoigne's fight, there's kind of like a thing that happens where they want you to backtrack and relight the lanterns, essentially, to go back through, and enemy placements change and different things happen.
Oh, okay. I'll probably give it another look. It was kind of neat in general. Like, I guess I wasn't expecting D-pad controls.
Yeah.
So I was initially like, oh no, why isn't it like this? But it's like 1996 PS1 or something.
Yeah.
So even more demastered or whatever. But pretty cool. A lot of audio that seems just straight from the game. So it was like sort of familiar.
With like wobble on it and stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But most of all of this just went into me playing Dark Souls 3, which I'm currently mired in. I've put about 50 hours in. I think I'm near the end of my first run. But
are you doing the DLCs as well?
I think I'm at the final boss battle of Ariandel, which is
it
was my favorite, like, screw you, it's Dark Souls kind of thing that happened. Was like I beat 2 phases of a fight and it seemed to be over. It rewarded me with like Titanite slab and seemed all good, and then she lights up again and has dark magic and I was toasted. So I kind of put that on pause, and
fight is ridiculous.
It made me smile. I basically slow clapped because it was like, I see. I paced out for 2 phases because I realized there's a second phase, and then it's like, oh, I'm out of everything. I'm not gonna make it. So yeah, that is my current brick wall. I beat the twins, I guess. Like, I've beaten all the Lords of Cinder. I just did that before I got here. I'm kind of gun shy now because Bloodborne just ended and rolled over. Like, oh, it's playthrough 2 now, everything's harder. So I'm kind of, is this going to end the game? I don't want it to end the game. I'm going to run through everything and try to find secrets. So that was most of today, was hitting walls and picking up Estus shards.
I mean, you'll know the final boss.
Okay.
It's pretty, it's pretty obvious.
Did you feel Gehrman, like, deserved the mantle of final boss, or...
No, especially by the time if you like do everything in that game, by the time you face him, he's a joke. Like,
kind of, yeah. Like, single digit attempts, maybe 5, and then I was like, all right, beat that guy. Now what's next? It's like, no, the credits are next.
Yeah, like done. 2 or 3 attempts learning how to dodge him, and then you win like the next one once it clicks.
Yeah.
Like, it's
So little underwhelming on that front, but overall, I think I got kind of addicted to the combat style of that game. Like, I really like how fast it moves. And the way you earn back your health, like the rallying system. So it was kind of hard to adjust back to Souls.
That's interesting because that's what you bumped or jumped off because of, right? Originally.
Initially,
like that, you didn't like
it was really bewildering, like 6-7 years ago when I first tried it. But after a long break from this type of game, it kind of clicked eventually, and now it's kind of weird going back. I'm trying to like simulate it with rings and stuff, where it's like, oh, I earn health when I hit guys or something, but it's not quite the same. But yeah.
So is this all leading, like, are you getting ready for Elden Ring? Are you gonna just go through everything?
I think so, but I've been honestly looking at Dark Souls 2 and be like, I didn't appreciate this one enough either. I should go back and really look at it. But I don't know if I should get OG2 or keep playing Scholars of the First Sin. I kind of wanted to ask Paul about that. But
I mean, you should probably just play Scholars at this point.
Is it better?
Well, it adds stuff in it that is somewhat better, and it explains a few more things, and it adds kind of like a boss that's admittedly kind of a lazy shitty boss, but I mean that game ends off in a lazy shitty way anyway, so what's another lazy shitty thing on top of the pile?
I guess so.
That game's fine for like just any standard really, but like you just played a whole bunch of what most people consider the best in the series, and you're gonna go back to one that's just okay. So I'm wondering how you're going to feel about it.
I'll see how I feel about it once I load that up again. I'm probably gonna try to get all the achievements in 3 before I do that. Is there any areas from 2 and 3? It seems to very consciously be like a remix of 1. Like you're going back to places centuries later, and it's like, oh, this guy now he's dead, but I found his book.
Right. I'm trying to remember if there was. Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure there's callbacks
on your list to hit.
Sekiro's been a big question mark. I've been looking for like sales on it and stuff because I'm really not sure. Because it's not an RPG, right? You're not like leveling in the same way.
Yeah.
You're getting like tokens or something.
It's the same game style in a lot of ways, but the thing is, it's all about like parrying essentially.
And jumping around with your slingshot or something. Yeah. It just looked very different. But I guess I'm curious about it too. So yeah, I don't know. It just all of this Elden Ring like hype wave just kind of swept me back into that brand of action RPG, which I like.
Sure.
So eventually I'll get there. Any new Elden Ring news from any of you or new discoveries?
I think. Where am I? I'm in my character's late 40s. I want to say I'm like half done the second, I don't know, continent area before you fight like the second main boss. I mean, like where all the magic people are. With the lake and stuff. I'm sure Paul knows.
Yeah,
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like halfway through. I'm just doing all the side dungeons and whatnot.
Yep.
I pretty much I'm like making that almost entirely a co-op game now. On my own, I'm like exploring because I found out that when you summon your co-op partner in like the outside area, they don't let you bring up the horse.
Oh sure, yeah, that's true.
Because I guess they just don't want two of you, like cowboying around on horses or whatever. And
I'm guessing it's because they don't know how to code it, because their online has never been amazing, just ever. So getting like two fast moving objects working together in a world might be too much for them.
Or in like how big it is if we just like split up. Yeah, maybe it's something like that. So I'm kind of doing all the exploration myself, and I'm just like finding all the dungeons. And then when my friend's available, it's like, hey, I loaded up 3 dungeons for us. Let's just run through them.
That's a cool way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's primarily what I'm doing. So still good, still going real slow through that game, but I'm happy with it.
And Paul, you got all the trophies and achievements and everything?
Yeah, I got all the. Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry, is there any like kind of side quest or anything that kind of you can screw up on a playthrough and have to wait?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I definitely had that happening more in Bloodborne than Dark Souls 3 so far, just because it has like junctures in the timeline where it's like, oh, you fought that boss already? Yeah, you can't talk to this person now.
I think like, so the last time you were on and you talked about Bloodborne, we talked a little bit about like a thing for you to do. I think you like literally texted me the next day and you're like, yeah, I fucked this up.
Yeah, that person got murdered. So it's like, well, you can't get that, so just wait until the next time around. It's
yeah.
Like, great. Okay. I'll do that. I think there might have still been a way to still do it because there's another way to get the umbilical cord at the clinic, but I didn't know that you could go there that playthrough at all. So I failed to find that also. And then Canehurst Castle I only found once, like the vampire place.
Mm-hmm.
It was like my last run through. It's like, where is this? Like I've wandered all over the place. And it's like, oh, you need to have this item and stand near this thing. And then a horse carriage comes and gets you. It's like,
oh,
all right.
Yeah, in that main area with the trench coat guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's, once you know, it's fine. But I just spaced on it 2 times through.
I mean,
it
that's
kind of felt like Majora's Mask, but you had no way to rewind time. You just have to play the game all the way around.
That's kind of like a FromSoft thing, just in general,
Yeah.
right? Every one of those games has like, you can miss this, and if you do, you just got to play it again to get it.
Or I think I've sent Grey Rat to his death in Dark Souls 3 because I was like, yeah, go get more items for me. Go do that. And it's like, oh, if you haven't done this, this, and this, he will fail to return. And it's like, oh, all right. I guess I'll never see that guy again.
Have you been like looking? I guess it makes sense. You would, like, if you don't care, like, you should probably just look up every quest to make sure you're doing it right. Because yeah, you can definitely fuck yourself if you're going for something.
I like joined a covenant with this like blob monster thing. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I got back to the Firelink, and an NPC was like, yeah, you have chosen a dark path. I can't truck with that. I'm out. And it's like, okay. And then 30 hours later, I'm reading about this, like, okay, so I go to this person's summon. It's like, no, that was that person. You pissed them off. Like, you have to reset the world to see them again. It's like, okay, well, I'll do that next time.
So,
but okay, glad Elden Ring still has that. I
was gonna say, to go back to the initial question, Elden Ring still has that. Some of it intentional, some of it just is a fucking bug. I got fucked by a bug, so that was.
But
cool.
You managed to circumvent it somehow, or?
No. Because like an NPC is supposed to invade you, and he just wouldn't invade me. And I figured out because there's a bug that if you do a certain thing before doing that invasion, like sometimes it just breaks, and that just will never happen for you. So, cool.
Even on a subsequent rollover?
No, a subsequent rollover would be fine. But then on a subsequent rollover, the thing I needed from him, I could just get by force by like murdering that guy earlier. So like that's what I did.
All right. Yeah. I try not to like just look at a guide because I still want the thrill of like, oh, I found this, yay.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like I need a little help. Like, oh, there's an entire area underneath this catacombs. Okay, I guess I'll know to look for a ladder or something, and then I found it. But
yeah, it's either like it's either kind of like get guidance from something or be okay with playing through a thing like a few times to get it right. Yeah.
Still mostly fun though. I still like that format.
Yeah.
The popularity of Elden Ring is in my last week has been like insane. I was hearing a statistic that Margit, the first like main first boss,
the
like Steam completion percentage like a week ago was at 70%. And just and that's crazy to think about for this kind of game.
That's huge.
I was marveling at some of the Bloodborne like trophy data. It's like, oh, Father Gascoigne is like the second boss. 48.5% of people have done that. And it's like, so half of the people that bought this game didn't even get here.
Exactly.
And I hadn't for like 7 years, but now I'm finally like in that other percentage. But yeah, like I hope they're not mad at their purchase. It seems kind of like a waste.
This is actually kind of an okay place to say that there is a community event going on called Bloodborne Return to Yharnam 2022, and it's just basically to get people that like the game, have never played the game or whatever for a certain period of time to just play and like see each other's like notes and all the like
try and get a bit of a zeitgeist going around.
Yeah, because the problem is that the game is 7 years old on PS4, so like there's not in Elden Ring.
Rid of their PS4 because it's an old console. Why would you? Yeah, no, I get it.
On the second playthrough, I finally turned on online on Elden Ring, and there's just like notes and blood and shit everywhere, and it's like, yeah, this looks about right. And revisiting Bloodborne for like a night because I was just seeing like what's going on in there. There's like none of that I saw in a lot of the areas, especially in the areas that are like later game, like. I can't remember the name of the area, but where the Margot's wet nurse is and that sort of thing. Like, there's fucking nothing there. So, it's kind of cool that
but now
there's
in Elden Ring, you're like, I will try Finger's butthole.
I mean, that's a classic. Yeah. Finger butthole is very good.
It's everywhere. Literally everywhere I go, it's like, only I had rump. Okay.
I did see the one that you were saying, Fortnite, is like quite prevalent as well. and you don't have the right. Oh, you don't have the right is
I don't think I've seen those.
everywhere as well.
I guess if I was gonna tap, like, I'd have to get plus again to see this Bloodborne thing. But there's like a couple side quests I still failed. There's just no trophy associated with them, so I could finally see what happens to that little kid, like Father Gascoigne's daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like, no, I screwed this up every single time. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured out that threaded cane though. It's good. Like, now that I know.
Yeah, but it's not good when you're learning that game or starting it.
No.
Yeah, no.
Not intuitive, yeah. But okay, sorry, moving on.
Paul, you and I have continued to play some Tunic.
Yeah, I would say I'm maybe 80-85% completion for it. Probably.
Okay.
I've seen one ending, which I'll call true ending. I have to play through the game again to do the other ending where you fight the end boss. So I have to see that ending.
You did everything before.
Well, yeah, because the thing I like about Tunic is the puzzles, and that's what gets
Okay.
you the other ending.
So I saw I guess the easier to get ending when you don't complete the game first. With the assumption, which I was correct, of like, oh, I'll get the boss and then it'll drop me back into the world and I can go clean everything else up. And that's exactly what happens.
Sure.
And that's what I'm doing. So
Mhm.
I fought that final boss, much like you, Nathan. I was like, I'm going to use all my consumables that I just haven't been touching. And then, oh, there's a second phase, stomped. Oh, there goes all of my consumables, because I was just like, I don't need any of these anymore. I held on to them for the entire game. I did have to like go and explore more to get like more health upgrades and stuff, because that final boss was pretty difficult. Yeah, now I'm at the point where I'm gonna just look up a guide for what I'm missing, and from the little bit I've seen, some of that stuff is almost complete nonsense, where I'm very curious how the in-game will actually hint.
Nah, everything, every like
inputs.
major puzzle is hinted at very well, and you can figure it out if you take a moment to. You have to look at like everything and question everything and kind of, but it's really easy to piece together. The thing that is nonsense is that language, but you don't need to decode that language to understand what's going on.
Yeah, I don't plan to. There was a couple nonsense things near the end where it was like the first time I actually did look up like where am I supposed to go. I can't really get into them without, because I don't want to spoil that kind of stuff. But there were a few ones where it's like I would never even like thought to try that.
Oh.
So there was one or two near the end game. Other than that, I was able to piece together everything else that I had that you need to like get to an end, I should say.
Yes. Yeah, no, I mean, you can just play it like a normal Legend of Zelda clone without the kind of like weird Fez AR meta game that's going on in there as well. And yeah, it's totally competent and good that way too. That's a good game
though. Like totally sucked me away from Elden Ring for like a solid, I don't know, 10 hours.
Yeah.
It's also a game where it's like, if I stop, I'm going to forget the weird like mind tricks that I need to be thinking about and all of the like pegboard that I put together. So I kind of need to keep going, or it's going to be harder to come back into.
Yeah. I mean, this won't make sense to like anybody that hasn't played it, but like I have pages and pages of just like arrows facing different ways all over. God. And like numbers. Like I have a few pages worth in this book.
What do the numbers mean?
I mean, I could tell you what every number in that game means at this point. I have spent a long time. Like, How Long to Beat has that game at like, what, 7 hours or something? I think I'm at 22 currently. Like, I've spent a lot of time.
Last time I checked, it was around like 10 or 12.
Sure.
Like, maybe that changed.
Yeah. And I will say that I was starting to try to decode the secret language. And I got a hint from somebody as to what it was, and then when I got that hint, I was like, oh, fuck that, I'm going to look online to see if somebody has. And the answer is somebody kind of has, as in a full Reddit community working for 24 hours like a day for a few days have put together a thing. So I was just like, yeah, there's no way I was going to solve this alone. That's insane.
Yeah, some of the stuff I did come across was like Reddit threads, and it's just like people questioning, like, hey, have we figured this out yet? And
Yeah.
then some people being like, well, we have this one and this one. And I'm like, this is the best. This is so great.
There is a wiki for people decoding that instruction manual's language. Like, that's the thing, is that you don't need to decode the language, because the way that you pick things up and the way that like the pictures look and stuff like that, you can kind of intuitively guess like what some of the puzzles are doing, at least. And then it all starts like making sense. But if you want to read the text, you have to learn how to decode the language, which is, I mean, I'll just say it's not an alphabet. It's a different way to decode that language. That
More of a vibe.
it is honestly more of a vibe, which is why there's a full Reddit community decoding it, and they're still not done. Yeah, that thing is cool. I love Tunic. It's easily one of my favorite games I've played in a long time.
It's very cool. Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing, Paul?
Nope.
That's primarily it. I dipped my toes into a bit more Young Souls.
Okay.
Getting pretty much near the end of that. Happy Kirby Eve, by the way.
Yeah, and Ghostwire in half an hour.
Ghostwire, Tiny Tina's is tomorrow. There's a lot of games coming out tomorrow. Kirby, yeah. I'm probably the most excited for.
I mean, yes, I'm excited to play Kirby, but I'm excited to finally learn more about Ghostwire just in general.
See, what I thought you were going to say is you're excited to learn more about Mouthful Mode.
Well, I mean, we could talk about Mouthful Mode off air.
Yeah, let's not do that on air. But
No.
We don't need to do that.
No.
This all sounds so mysterious to me. Like, I know what Ghostwire is. I was mostly seeing Paul's like post about the PC version might have some headaches, but yeah. Is it a third-person action game or?
No, it's a first-person.
Okay.
Think of like a first-person shooter type thing, but you're not using a gun, you're using your hands.
You're throwing up gang signs.
You're literally throwing up gang signs. You're doing like Cat's Cradle, only it makes like spirit weapons.
Oh, sounds Persona-esque to me, but okay.
It's very Japanese. It's all, it's set in like Shibuya and whatnot. But
okay.
And then Mouthful Mode is a thing in Kirby where he tries to inhale a car, but he can't swallow it, so the car just kind of wears Kirby, and you get to drive around with a car that has Kirby kind of.
Is he controlling it though? He's eaten enough of it to have that power.
Yeah. And you can do that to like a vending machine and like a street pylon.
Okay. Good.
That's Mouthful Mode.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to everything.
Yeah.
There's too many games right now, man. And then Game Pass dropped like 5 things I'm interested in. Within the last week.
Oh, okay. What are you interested in that they dropped recently? I haven't seen really the list.
Annapurna just had one.
I know, yeah, there's the like Who Muted Uncle something or whatever. It's something like that, right?
No, it's called like
No, not Annapurna.
Blue.
That's Wales Interactive.
Did Wales Interactive drop something? No way.
I don't think it's dropped yet. Let me quickly look.
Okay.
Who Pressed Mute on Uncle Marcus is their next game, and it released on the 18th of March. So yes, it did drop last week.
Weird. That's not on Game Pass though.
No.
Okay. But hey, speaking of Wales Interactive, this week, yesterday specifically, I went to the Game Developers Conference down in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Wales Interactive was there.
Okay.
I didn't really go up and chat with them, but I was like, I played some of those games. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friend after the fact should have been like, you should have asked them why they're no longer working with DeBecki Studios. And I was like, oh, I should have done that. But also, I doubt this random PR dude has any idea what I'm talking about.
Sure.
But anyway, GDC was cool. I would love to talk about this one game that I played.
Yeah.
But
what's its name?
I forgot the name of it and the developer's name of it. So I feel horrible.
Okay.
They're like, well, hey, we're on Steam. They had like a 15-minute demo, so I played for like 15 minutes. They're like, we're on Steam already. You can wishlist us. There's like a 2-hour demo on Steam, so you can play way more of it. And I was like, cool. All I can remember from the name is it was like 3 words, and one of them was cube. There are so many games on Steam that have the word cube in the name.
Sure.
What does it play like that was so striking though?
It's side-scrolling, very green pixel art, and it plays like a Super Meat Boy or a Celeste, maybe more so because you have like a dash.
Okay.
You can do like in the air, and you're like a little cube guy that has like a gun. It's very Celeste, where it's like screens you're kind of making your way through. But then there's like boss battles because there's a bit more of like a combat focus to it with the gun. So if anyone comes across this, please remind me what the name of this game is. Escape might have been in the name. I don't remember that one. I know for sure Cube was in the name. Very green again. The visual is very green. Anyways, that was a cool game that I played for 15 minutes, and there's a 2-hour demo. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, it's on Steam.
I'll keep your eyes on GDC and with this information.
Is it Planet Cube
GDC
Edge?
website doesn't list like
who's there.
Well, it lists who's there, but it doesn't list like the names of every game. So you just have to know like.
Is it Planet Cube Edge?
I mean, I don't have like Steam up. I'm not gonna like. We'll check your guys' homework here. Steam.
I mean,
store.steam.
It's Sunna Entertainment.
Green. Planet Cube Edge. It is Planet Cube Edge.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice.
That rarely works out.
Yeah. Thank you. Decoy Choi in the chat. He just Googled side-scrolling pixel art cube Steam. Yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I should have done that, but
algorithms at work.
I told you Cube was in the name.
Yep, you were right.
The developer is Sunna Entertainment, or maybe Suna Entertainment. I don't know. They seemed like nice guys when I was chatting with them.
Cool.
But yeah, maybe if you like Celeste, maybe look into that game. There's a demo. It's coming out sometime this year. Anyway, cool. GDC, lots of NFT booths.
Oh no!
Sure, yeah.
Things that referenced the metaverse.
Great. Yep.
I can't really tell you specifics about those ones because I just kind of walked right past them.
Yep.
I also found out though, when you go to GDC as press, they give you $75 to buy lunch there.
Ooh.
Okay.
What'd you eat?
Yeah. So I bought a box of chicken chow mein, and then 4 turkey sandwiches to take home.
Yeah, makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah, because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to spend $75 on just a lunch here.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can I take home? And they had like turkey sandwiches like in a bag, each of them. And I was like, I guess I'll have 4 of these. And I still had $13 left over. I could have bought another turkey sandwich, but my backpack was full. I was like, I'm not buying a 5th turkey sandwich. I'm not going to do that.
Makes sense.
Did you see any panels or anything? Or
I didn't go to any of the panels. I was looking for game demos. That's usually what I like to go to GDC for. This one had a lot less game panels. The whole convention was kind of more low key than it has in the past, and I'm assuming that's because it's the first one back from the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the past, there was like, here's the Fortnite booth that has like one of those like bucking bronco things in the shape of their pinata that you can get on and try and that Fortnite like wasn't even there. Maybe that should tell you something. There was a few booths with like people in full mocap suits and pretending to be like animals, and then you could see like on screen what they were doing, kind of. The best part, and I think this is always the best part of GDC, is the Alt Control GDC section, which is games that people have made that use uncommon control schemes. So one of them was like a stock market game where it was a 3-player game that you control with a phone. So you would pick up the phone and you would dial the number of like the stock you want, and then you have to shout sell or buy into the phone to make it do something, and then you would hang up, and so it's 3 people doing stuff like that.
Okay. That sounds kind of fun.
There was one called Burger Plinko that I played where you hold in one hand a mustard condiment squeezer or a ketchup condiment squeezer, and that moves the little thing back and forth, and you're trying to like navigate the ball or the ingredients into the center slot. So you would get an order that would come up, and you're like, I need burger patties, and then the burger patty would fall down, and you have to try and push it, and you have a little headset on. You're just shouting and saying, "Order up," and you send them whatever you can send them.
Wow, just like SpongeBob.
They also had they had a really cool one. I forget the name of this one. But it was like kind of like a safe cracking game, but you also had to use like a phone, and there was like a physical map and a little CRT TV in front of you. It reminded me of those old like 90s VHS board games. You could like play along with what was on the TV, and I was like, man, that would be so cool to like do with like a partner beside you. And also, I should go buy some of those 90s VHS board games.
Yeah.
Then I don't have a VHS player at the moment, so what would I do with that? But it would be cool to say like, look at this thing. Imagine if we were playing this.
Yeah.
We could play Clue. I think there's a Clue one.
Probably.
Seems, yeah.
Those are probably all up on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Sure. I would hope someone thought to, surely a good collection of them.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're making any modern games where it's like, hey, by the way, we've put up like 6 hours of YouTube footage. Load up each video as you go about it, maybe QR code style.
Oh, yeah.
Like an interactive. That's got to be a thing, right? Someone should do that.
I would think so, but maybe not. Who knows?
Paul, if you're talking, you're like muted or something.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, no.
Better?
Oh, okay.
There, you're back. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying I would hope so.
Yeah.
Anyways, GDC was cool. It was nice being there. They had a booth where you could put on a shirt that had haptics in it, which I did not partake in because I didn't feel like going into their back room and taking my shirt off, put their shirt on that everyone else has been wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a pre-COVID idea, really.
Yeah,
okay.
so I was like, nah, that's okay.
It seems like a res accessory or something. That's great.
The turkey sandwiches though, too much bread.
Yeah.
Like it's like
the
a
ratio
lot of bread,
wasn't...
and like I just had one for dinner before the show. It's like you needed like a whole glass of water every like bite you're having a drink because there's so much bread. Also, you got to put your own condiments on it. It doesn't come with anything because it's got to like I guess last and not get soggy. So it's real dry if you don't have something.
Turkey sandwiches are always a risk of being dry. So yeah, that's rough.
Not a turkey in general.
Was there tomatoes on there?
There were, but
okay,
I took them off because I don't like tomatoes.
Oh yeah, that's a problem then.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a sandwich key for me, but okay. Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
Anyway,
we got 3 more.
I do have, so I've eaten 2 of them, and my girlfriend can eat the other 2. That's the thing. So I brought 3 home, and I just had one before the show, and I put some like mayonnaise and some like I don't know, like sandwich sauce, generic sandwich sauce, and it's still like so much bread.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Anyway,
are you opposed to a dip? Like you dip it into gravy or something?
I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I didn't have anything with me to do that, but like I'm okay with that. Let's talk about some news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul, you collected that the quarry was shown off. I watched this little trailer. This is the new Supermassive Games.
Yeah.
One. This is not included in their Dark Picture anthology. This is a separate thing. Much like how Until Dawn was its own little thing. This is kind of the next one. This is a partnership with 2K.
Yeah. This is what they're calling a spiritual successor to Until Dawn. So that should be interesting to see how that is, but that's coming out soon too, June 10th, which seems soon considering this is the first I heard of it.
Yeah, no, and they announced it like last week with like, hey, we're gonna do a showcase of it in like 3 days or whatever, so it was kind of quickly announced.
One of Steam's like pop-up ads told me about this, and the poster was striking because I was like, is this a movie from the 80s? It's like, no. It's a game that's meant to feel that way. It's like, oh,
yes.
Yeah. Well, you nailed the look then. Great.
Exactly. I mean, Until Dawn was kind of the same thing. Like, we're going to do a cabin in the woods. This is, again, a cabin in the woods, camp counselor, a bunch of rowdy teens that, like, nothing could be going on. They got, like, a whole bunch of people in here.
Yeah.
David Arquette.
Here, I'll give you the quick list here. The cast list is Ariel Winter, Ethan Suplee, I never know how to say his name properly, David Arquette, Lynn Shay, Miles Robbins, Grace Zabriskie, Helston Sage, Zach Tinker, Lance Henriksen, Brenda Song, Siobhan Williams. I don't know how to say her name.
I think that's Siobhan.
Siobhan?
That's how you spell Siobhan.
Okay. Skylar Gisondo, Evan Ivagora, Justin Smith, and Ted Raimi. Sam Raimi's brother's just in here, so why not?
Grace Zabriskie jumps out as a weird, but great, I guess. Sarah Palmer. But,
yeah.
Yeah. And David Arquette, obviously, of Scream, like, staple, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, star-studded cast. These games are always so much fun. I don't like horror games, but because they're co-op, like, sign me up. Hell yeah.
If these weren't co-op, would you play them?
It does take the edge off. Paul, sorry, what did you say?
If it wasn't co-op, would you play it alone?
Probably not.
Okay.
I just probably couldn't. It would be too scary.
Okay.
But yeah, looking forward to this one. Until Dawn did not have online co-op. I'm hoping, since all the Dark Picture Anthology games do, that this one will.
Yeah.
Since they've figured out that tech.
Yep.
Hey, in bummer news, apparently Moon Studios, the developers behind the Ori games, is a quote-unquote oppressive place to work.
Yeah. This is especially a bummer when you know that Moon Studio is made up of different people over the internet, essentially, not like a central location. So it just seems like the higher ups, I guess, at there is just, they're just kind of shitty to deal with.
Yeah, some like sexism, some racism for sure. I was seeing. Didn't follow the story too much.
There's a sample of their chat or whatever in here, and it's somebody just saying like nobody cares what you think, and the founder just like calling them retard or something like that. Like, yeah, there's I mean, you can find this article. It's on VentureBeat if you want to deep dive into it, but more than anything, it's just shitty that this is a thing, even with like kind of a small indie studio where everybody lives in different parts of the world collaborating on something. It's bummer.
Yeah. Also just kind of like weird to see, you know, you don't see this from a lot of like indie studios. It's usually like the bigger ones that are quite corporate in nature, and then like the higher ups there. And also you just look at like the Ori games that are all about like friendship of like weird creatures of different backgrounds coming together, and it's like, oh, this was made by a racist?
Right. Yeah, there's other terrible jokes that have been referenced in here. Obviously, we're not going to go through that here. You can read those for yourself if you want to, but there's some weird racism stuff, some like pretty standard video game industry sexism stuff in here. Like, yeah.
Do they have a new project going on right now, or what's the...
I don't think they have announced anything, no.
Oh, okay.
It's the 2 Ori games.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I guess if this goes back years, yeah, that's sad. But okay. I still haven't played those, but
those are great.
Now I won't. Good. Just like Woody Allen movies, I'm just throwing them away. Can't do it.
Yeah, I guess so. That's a bummer because, like, arguably some of my favorite Metroidvanias.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's also, I think, important to realize that like this is a couple people at the top, like a whole bunch of. It even says in this article that like a whole bunch of the people that worked on this game, the devs and artists and stuff, were kind of like soured, and like they were excited that people loved their games when they came out, but also just like really not feeling great about the fact that they had to go through so much shit to get it out and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's again one of those things that like you want to support the people that like put their passion and heart into that stuff and weren't shitty because they did a good job, but also at the top.
That's true. Like it's like a thing where it's like, Bobby Kotick sucks, but there's like 10,000 people below him that probably 99% of them don't suck. Moon Studios is 80 people.
Right.
And I'm sure it's a vocal minority that kind of suck in this regard.
Yeah. I think it has a few names as well, but yeah, I don't know, man. That's a bummer. That was really crappy to read.
And then the impossible pivot, the Switch has folders now.
I like folders. I'm a big fan. So this is great.
I use them on PS4, but yeah. Although when I had a hard drive, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make one for. I'm gonna make a folder just for Picross games because not even the S series, but I also have that like weird pictogram RPG or whatever the hell it was called. I have that Hatsune Miku Picross game. I have a bunch of Picross games that can all just have their own folder.
So you're gonna just kind of have two folders, Picross and not Picross?
Picross, probably Nintendo is gonna get their own. Maybe Way Forward. I have a bunch of Way Forward games, like maybe by developer.
Okay. What about you, Nathan? What kind of groups would you have?
The way I have it on PlayStation is just big and small. It's just big games and small games.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Like this was full retail price. This is $80.
Oh yeah.
$10. Yeah, that's basically what I'm sorting.
What about like a middle tier one that's kind of like in the $40 margin?
Like The Witness or something?
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly forget where I put it because you're right. It's right in between. I think because I find that game challenging, I put it in big games.
Okay. So it's more like these are the big boy games, and then this is ones for baby gamers.
This is for chilling, and this is not.
Sure.
Maybe.
There's another good way to put it. Yeah.
Vibe folders. I like it.
That's the way to do it. Vibes, like, is it raining outside? This is the games you want.
Yeah.
That's what they need to be able. They need to let you tag the games so that they show up in multiple folders. Like,
yep.
I play this game when it's raining, but I also play it when I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Just like a mood ring accessory, and then it sorts it, and then you just
there you go. Yeah.
Colors.
Google probably knows what you're feeling before you feel it, and then those just got to connect together and be like, hey man, in like 30 minutes you're gonna get hungry and a little horny. Here's the game for you.
Yeah.
Just shows up.
Yeah.
Since I turned off, Steam will just show you all sorts of stuff if you turn off the safe stuff, and it's been a little scary. But yeah.
Yep.
It's reading me.
All right, Netflix. Speaking of serving up content, they acquired another game studio.
Oh, Boss Fight?
Who was a big fan of Boss Fight Entertainment?
I mean, I like Boss Fight. Yeah.
Have you heard about them before? Because they're a mobile developer, and I had not.
Yes, I think I have. I'm trying to remember what game they did. I definitely have heard this name before. Did they do... Hold on.
They didn't do what, like Flappy Bird.
They didn't? Oh, shit.
I'm just thinking of like, didn't Cliff Bleszinski have like Boss Key? That's what I'm familiar with.
No, that's a different thing.
They did
Dungeon Boss. Yeah.
Did you heard about that?
Yes. Dungeon Boss is old.
All they've done.
Yeah, that was like, I won't say like a sensation, but that was highly rated for a long time. That came out years ago, though, like a long time ago.
What were their other two studio acquisitions?
They bought the Oxenfree developer, Night School Studio.
Right, yeah.
And they also bought Next Games, which you'll know as the developers of the mobile game Stranger Things Puzzle Tales, and not one, but 2 Walking Dead games.
Okay.
On mobile.
Man, I did play a Stranger Things mobile game, but I don't know if it was that. But okay.
Yeah, they seem to be getting a whole bunch of mobile stuff. The big one was Night School a few months ago.
Yeah.
You know, hey, speaking of Netflix, I'm going to skip this next story.
Okay.
This came out of nowhere. This is crazy. We had talked about this a few months ago, that there was a Shatter remastered game coming out.
Yeah.
Then it popped up and it's available now on mobile through Netflix.
Yeah, I meant to download this to try it, but I forgot all about it.
This is so weird.
Yeah.
Shatter's great. Nathan, you're the one who introduced me to Shatter.
I do like Shatter, but 90% of why is that music, so they got that right. It's not like a re-release of Super Meat Boy. I fought with that guy, so it's ruined now. Like it's all there, right?
I'll tell you what, as soon as it installs, I'll tell you.
If it's got the same intro,
you could just download it.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay. I'm canceling our Netflix though, so I chose the wrong.
Yeah, makes sense.
Here's a reason not to cancel. Now I can play some Shatter Remastered.
Yeah,
that's true.
This is just weird because this game, it popped out of nowhere. It went dark, and then it just popped up in like the weirdest scenario that I can think of right now for games.
Is Netflix mobile?
Netflix mobile. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, if you have a Netflix subscription, it's on iOS and Android. We'll play Shatter, or yeah, as Nathan says, maybe just listen to that soundtrack on Spotify.
Yeah, it is there. So it's pretty good to this day.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been delayed to 2023 officially.
Yeah.
Not really surprised.
No.
It is now 9 o'clock here, meaning Kirby's out.
Also Ghostwire. Is Tiny Tina out tonight as well, or is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Tonight. So there you go.
Games are out.
Speaking of video games, The Witcher.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next game in the
There's an easy
Witcher
Netflix
franchise.
transition there too, but okay. Henry Cavill is back, and
I have to watch
a medallion shaped like a lynx.
I have to watch that season still.
I have not watched the second season either. I do need to watch that.
Yep.
All we know is a new Witcher game is in development. They have switched to Unreal Engine 5 off of Red Engine, which I guess a lot of the developers there had been having, struggles of using their proprietary stuff. No, it's not The Witcher 4. They've given no information about it besides it'll kick off a new saga in the franchise.
And yeah, Link's medallion with glowing eyes.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Any assumptions? Any out there guesses people want to throw out? What would they do with a Witcher 4 or like a kind of maybe a new character or something?
Oh, do you think they'd get rid of Geralt? Is that I didn't
know. They did
play
trilogy
3
with him.
Did he perish forever, Paul?
I don't know. I didn't play through all of 3.
Was he eaten by wolverines?
I bet he was eaten by something at one point, but then he fights his way out of the stomach.
Oh sure.
Sorry, I'm playing Shatter.
Okay.
You
You're
want
the most knowledgeable Witcher
person. Is it the first song still?
Can you hear that?
That sounded like recognizable.
Oh, I guess I probably have to talk so that the sound thing is tripped so I'll just keep making sound.
Yeah,
so
no, when I played Shatter, you weren't talking, so it's different.
Yeah. I mean, okay, hold on.
Remixed it.
Let me turn off the sound gate.
Okay, here's my out there assumption. It's gonna be an Elden Ring like.
Okay,
is that it?
New Skyrim, I guess. So that's what they gotta follow.
That's my assumption. Yeah.
So bigger areas.
Yeah, bigger area, but like more kind of exploration. You just kind of stumble your way into stuff as opposed to like distinct. Like here's the quest line. Here's the marker on your map.
Okay.
That's what I think. Paul, what do you think? New Witcher.
I don't know, man. Probably just more of the same, but like a new quest that is kind of the same as the old quests.
Okay,
where
kind of
you
like
get
a Far Cry 6 thing.
Yeah, where you go talk to somebody, they say a thing, and then you're like, oh, they're lying because this is actually a demon, and then you fight that demon, and then you go back and either berate them or get them to pay you for being quiet about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. 1, is there a bathtub scene? 2, do you want there to be a bathtub scene?
Yeah. It's the most important thing about Witcher in
You're
everything.
Giving 2 thumbs up?
Yeah.
Is bathtubs? Okay. I didn't know that, so
you got to keep clean, man. The plague spread because people wouldn't clean themselves and eat oranges, I guess.
The Lynx medallion's covered in snow, so I'm gonna guess there's snowboarding in it.
Oh man.
Good guess.
Yeah.
On Shields, there's a whole mini game and tournament. Yeah.
That'd be great.
PlayStation has acquired Raven, which was the new studio led by Jade Raymond after she and a bunch of high-level people at Google Stadia left.
Yes.
Wait, is it Raven or
Haven?
Haven.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, the old shooter developers that Activision owns.
No.
Okay. Sorry, yeah.
No, Microsoft bought them.
Yeah.
I guess this will also be Sony's first developer in Canada.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So there you go. Yeah. Good for them, I guess. I believe Sony was already funding whatever game Haven was currently working on. So I guess they just thought, hey, you know what? Here's a bit more. Let me put a bit more on top. Add an extra 0 to that. And they can't leave.
You pulled this. You actually pulled this next one. All right. Why not?
The next story.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, out of all the news stories, this one came up in my Twitter feed the most this week.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
I only saw this in the
News.
Discord. I didn't see it on Twitter at all.
I saw it everywhere. There's a Penny Arcade comic about this thing.
Okay.
Xbox is having a sweepstakes right now. You have to be 18 plus. You probably want to be 18 plus.
Of course you do. Yep.
No, I kind of misread as to why. It's like, no, it's because there's a raffle. But it's like,
yeah,
no, these are for adults.
I mean, okay. It could be both.
Yeah.
You know, they know what they're doing over there. This is for the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. So the raffle ends on April 4th. I'm giving you all the info so you can properly sign up for it. You will get an Xbox Series S where the big vent up front looks like a ring.
Yeah.
More importantly, though, you will get a Knuckles and Sonic furry controller.
Yeah.
This just looks like a terrible idea.
Yeah, it doesn't look comfortable to hold that thing for long.
You're holding that for 10 hours.
Oh,
playing a game. It's gonna be extra sweaty and terrible.
Oh, gross.
But
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
They look neat though, I guess, in terms of I've never seen a controller that looks like that.
I mean, maybe it's kind of there's like a moisture wicking fur.
Oh. This will be the new way.
I don't know, but I think that thing after one night in the wrong gamer's hands is just like a matted mess.
Okay, you could have said that about literally any device ever.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, maybe not matted. Right? That's a pretty specific
so, okay.
That's pretty hard to do.
I'm asking you, how do you go about cleaning these bad boys?
Oh, you don't use it, is what you do. You put it on the shelf.
You have to use it. You and your buddy just had a sweet, I don't know, killer Mortal Kombat session.
Yeah.
10 hours straight. Cheetos were enjoyed. Greasy nachos were had and shared.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Now you gotta clean.
So here's the thing.
The sticky mess you've made in your hands.
I try not to eat snacks or something, especially ones that can like stain your fingers or be oily when I'm like playing with controllers because it's just.
But these ones are just so inviting.
Right. Maybe you just go all the way and you eat extra greasy stuff because it's kind of like its own mop, right?
You just get it so dirty that it kind of calcifies.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you almost need like a mustache grooming kit. I'm thinking. Like a series of combs with really fine, tines, you know?
Yeah.
But that won't help grease, so.
No, the real answer is that you just have fun and then you shave it.
Yeah, like a couple good points in the chat. You shave them, maybe they'll grow back.
That's the worst.
I do love the idea though, and I bet we're not far away from this technology being in toys, where when you like charge up the battery, it grows the hair. Oh,
I hope we're like generations short of that. That's disturbing. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is the only way to get these, right? Is you have to win them.
I mean, that's the worst part is there's only one of these.
Oh man. Okay.
So like, this is going to be like flipped on eBay, right? Like these are going to go for crazy prices.
Yeah,
the biggest of perverts.
Yeah. Oh man, it just does not look comfortable holding that. So here's the thing: is that brand new, I would definitely want to get my hands on it just to feel it and be like, oh, weird. But then I wouldn't use it like for an actual session.
I was just about to say, like, I feel like this is something where you unbox it, on TikTok so you get 1 million views, obviously, and then you sell that video and become a millionaire.
Yeah.
But you unbox it, you use it for like, I don't know, 30 seconds. You beat Mario 1 or whatever the Xbox equivalent of Mario 1 is, and then you put it on a shelf forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna get dusty, and you're gonna have to like give it a good shake.
Oh, if you're like, this is gonna show my dated awareness of internet culture. If you're like PewDiePie or something, do you use one of these and just sell it as like stained with like gamer sweat from PewDiePie or something?
Well,
if you used it enough, it would have imprints of where you used it,
and it would be like you're holding PewDiePie's hand when you play with it. Yeah.
I mean,
so I used it long enough to leave the imprint.
We're like buds now. Yeah.
This is like a bingo card, and like the middle free space is how long until this gets dipped into some like gamer bathwater from some, female Twitch streamer.
Oh, I don't think it even needs to get dipped into bathwater. I think she just needs to hold it for 2 seconds, and that price is going up.
Yeah.
Are these color fast now that I'm thinking about it? Or would your hands get stained red by playing it?
I think they're actually that cool like heat tech where the color changes based on how warm it is.
Oh, that's even
like
worse.
A nice handprint.
Yeah. Then you can really see how horny your buddy is while he's playing the weird game he's playing.
Why is there no Tails one? Like, you could have put 2 tails
because nobody likes
dangling off that thing.
Yeah, like truck nuts for a controller.
Well, that's a whole other rabbit hole that we could get into with controllers if they had truck nuts on them.
Yeah.
But we don't have time for that.
No, we don't.
That's a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, make sure you sign up right now.
Why don't we do some questions? If people would like to send questions in, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. And I can read this first one from Linebeck. One thing I've noticed from watching people play games, especially open world games like Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring, is that a lot of them won't try certain things because to them, quote, the devs probably didn't intend it. Which to me is just an extremely limiting mindset. Do you think that people get too bogged down by their perception of what the devs intended when playing games nowadays?
I mean, I think people that say it's not what the devs intended are just gatekeepers, because the things that devs intended are things you can do in the game, unless it's like a bug, of course, that they probably overlooked. Or that.
I mean, I felt like I was cheesing Dark Souls 3 when I shot like every arrow I had at this like crazy worm thing in the smoldering lake and just went by it that way. It felt cheap, I guess, because there's a real way to fight it. But
yeah, but you also spent like half an hour doing it. Like the difference is you could do it quick, or you could do it like this way, which will take forever. And that's up to you, man. They put it in there.
Yeah. I just wanted to like confess that I did that dumb.
Okay.
So I don't know. Occasionally this thought occurs to me, but
yeah,
sometimes like otherwise it's just kind of speedrunning tactics or like weird glitches and stuff you take advantage of. Like that's the name of the game.
That's definitely devs didn't intend it. Speedrunners exploit that shit.
And that kind of goes back to watch. But
we had a question of like, if there's like a bug during the boss, like they get stuck on some geometry and you win, is that considered beating the boss?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, technically yes, but yeah, I understand the argument. Look, man, some of these games, the shit they throw at you, fuck those bosses. I'll take what win I can get.
Okay, so Fire Lord Gwyn, right? There's stalactites all over that cave.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to circle one and get him kind of up against one, right? That's what you're supposed to do, because that's why they put it there.
Well, the thing is that depending who you ask, the way you are supposed to fight Gwyn is to parry every attack he does. But
I've seen the
but then the thing is
that
that if you actually do it quote unquote that way or whatever, that's the easiest way to do that fight, because his timing is pretty easy to get down, and you will just like never get hit again by him.
It's like Punch Out or something. You just memorize the pattern.
Yeah.
But
so like, is that better?
Doing my stupid circle strafey. Oh, good. He's braced against it. I can get 2 hits in and then run away again. And it takes a half hour, but you know it worked 4 times or whatever. Whenever
so
you
I'm
fight
with
that
you.
guy.
You know, you take the W where you can get it.
Yeah.
You know, if it happens, it happens. Bugs obviously don't count. That's just weird. One scenario where this makes sense in a different perspective is when I played Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
And I would come across people where they're like, because of the way the game mechanics work, you can kind of like get around the like, you know, the horror threats.
Yeah.
If you just like jump in front of their face a bunch and slow down their movement and let someone run away. But in that point, you're not really playing into the scenario of the 5 of you are being hunted.
Yeah.
And there became kind of a meta layer to this game of like, you need to kind of buy in some to somewhat, otherwise you can kind of easily break this game.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, like that's playing into the intent of the scenario.
Right. I feel like the vibe of this question is like, when you're watching a movie, there's a reasonable suspension of disbelief, and sometimes you need to kind of like let go of like, of course dragons aren't real, but I'm here to watch some fun dragons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild is a weird one because it's kind of like this crazy toolbox they give you, like all the equipment you get. And I've seen people do way cooler things than I was doing, but it's like, well, it's sort of the mechanics because they gave you this stuff. So
probably way cooler than what the devs intended too, frankly.
Yeah. But if it allows you to fling Link over there, that's fine. That's allowed.
And then, so, you know, to go back to the question, I think both mindsets are fine. If people want to like break it and they have the way to do it, like let them play that way. If you get an enjoyment of like, you know, living in the world as intended, I think that's totally fine too. Like, why not?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, when you're paying for the thing, like it's up to you to enjoy it however way you want, for sure. I definitely think this whole like, that's not how they intended it or whatever is just gatekeeping assholes using that to try to like.
I guess the one place where I'm going outside of the game a bit is like last time I played Skyrim, I totally turned off like encumbrance because it just was ruining the game. It's like I just want to loot everything. Just let me do it. So I finally opened the console and said 10,000 or whatever, and then just collected a bunch of crap. So I don't know. They make the console really easy to open in that game. They don't seem to care. So, yeah. If you're having fun, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you're talking about multiplayer games, like how Sean was talking about Dead by Daylight and like just other multiplayer games in general, I think you are beholden to what the dev intended, just be as a general like, we all agree to these rules of the game for maximum enjoyment for everybody. It's like if you're just playing like touch football and somebody just starts kicking the ball or something randomly, like you're not going to invite that guy.
I guess.
You're not going to invite that guy again, or like tennis or
it's
something.
like no, that's kind of a good thing of like when it's a single player thing, it's like, why are you kind of limiting the fun? Whereas multiplayer, it's like, no, there's a reason we don't allow aim bots.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, these examples are single player, so
yeah,
just have fun. I guess I'll take the next one, or how do you right to left? How I'm seeing it. The Phantom Aegis writes, "Ahoy, TDP crew! Which video game female character has impacted you the most? It doesn't have to be your favorite female game character. It's more about the character that has influenced you, either big or small. Influenced, changed who you were."
Yeah, that's a hard, like, I know just impact. I really like the boss in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, sure.
I just like that character a lot, and especially when you kind of figure out what she's standing for and stuff like that. Whole character is just great. And it's the first one that came to mind, so obviously it made some impact.
I'm just trying to think of like a video game character in general that has like influenced me.
Yeah,
in
sure.
some way.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, I enjoyed playing as Commander Shepard, and Jennifer Hale's version was my favorite, and sci-fi heroines or something, but I don't know that it
like influenced you.
me.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Yeah.
It made me think Alien was a cooler movie. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Gone Home, the main character of Gone Home.
Okay.
I mean, I also have 2B written here, and I enjoyed being that tough robot lady.
She does have that ass.
Great.
So yeah, that's true.
There's a trophy. You had to do that. To get
I know.
Trophy, so.
Dude, you don't have to tell me. I got that trophy.
The game told me to do
Yeah,
that,
of course.
It rewarded you for doing it.
Yeah.
With a trophy.
Yeah, and you need to get those.
Yeah.
So. And then Samus is a famous one, but I don't know. I enjoyed being on those planets and shooting Metroids, but did it change me?
Samus being a girl didn't like have any effect on me though. Like,
what about Jill, the Master of Unlocking? She's pretty good.
Sure, but I mean, this is about impact, and like that's what I'm getting hung up on. Is that I don't think any character has really impacted me in general.
Yeah, and then
I'm not sitting here being like, like I saved Princess Peach. Mario changed my life.
Yeah, opened up my eyes.
I'm a better man because I played 2 games as Solid Snake.
Sure.
Lollipop Chainsaw. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
A headless zombie bust from the special edition of Dead Island.
Oh
2.
God, yeah. What a tone deaf thing that was. Suku writes, favorite game that uses Z in place of an S. Imagine Party Babies. Baby Z.
I mean, I don't know if I've played any. Like, I know there's Pets or Cats or whatever. Like, that was a series. Maybe it's better than Nintendogs.
I played Nintendogs. I didn't play the other ones.
What about
Dragon Ball Fighters?
Yeah, probably.
Probably that. Well, that's the thing is the name of that game Dragon Ball Fighters?
I think it's both.
Z? Or is it Fighter Z?
It's definitely both.
Because both of those are bad names.
Yeah, but it is definitely both.
And they should have just called it Dragon Ball Z Fighters or Fighters. I'm still going to make that my answer, though.
That's a pretty good answer.
It's a good answer, yeah.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Dead writes, have you ever tried to accurately model your character after yourself in a video game? What was the hardest part about getting your face right, if you were able to at all?
Okay, so I've been playing the NBA 2K basketball games like the last 3 years, and they very much want you to do this. And I can't say what the hardest part is exactly because it's like something on 2K's end is like taking 30 photos of you or whatever, and then they do some math and something comes back.
Yeah.
This most recent time, there's just like a metal bit in my chin, so I have to have a giant beard to hide it. So I don't know what happened, but it was like 30 tries, and it's like, all right, this is what my guy looks like.
There was just like a weird shadow each time, and they were just like, clearly that's a hunk of metal.
That guy has a crazy piercing in his chin, so we must model that for this guy. And it's like, okay. But no, it's weird. It really does look kind of like me, but I'm like 10 inches taller and playing basketball. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Fight Night, I think, had this. Make it like me.
With like manual like character creators, I don't bother trying anymore. It's not worth the effort. Sorry, Paul.
I just put like a basic like beard, like brown hair or whatever, and usually it's close enough that I'm just like, yeah, I'm a white guy. Like, it's
generic
fine.
White guy is close enough. Yeah, I can see that.
What was that, like Amiibo game or like game for like DS?
Yeah,
where we all lived in an apartment building.
Yeah,
like, I thought you guys
Tamagotchi life.
Sort of, yeah. Like
Miitopia, something like that. One of those.
Yeah,
Miitopia was one of them.
I think you both were in it. You looked okay, like me versions of yourselves.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Tomodachi. Was it Life?
Tomodachi Life. Yeah, that's right.
I remember that. I especially remember because I have a video of me recording the screen where I just thought it was hilarious. Nathan's little character doing this weird dance, and it looked so much like him at that point.
I just remember Sean, like, I kept buying your answers, and it was just taxi quotes or whatever. Like, whatever that Jimmy Fallon movie was. It's like an IMDb description. Yeah, you're just like, oh, I'll just troll everybody. Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon starred in this movie, and then I'll just put fun facts about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I never really try to make it myself. I like to always hit random. I also usually like play as a girl.
Yeah.
Not many of my games allow me to take photos of myself and put them in. So if more of them did do that, I would probably do that just to see what weird nonsense comes up.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually backtracking briefly to the female game character. It's like my created characters in the Souls games, they're sure tough. They did all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Inspiring. They fought that demon. So yeah.
There you go.
Nathan, you're up. Okay. What are the worst design controllers you remember using? So
you made these
this
Knuckles
new one.
and Sonic ones. Hair kept getting stuck in the trigger.
Oh yeah. Wow.
They seem like a contender for sure for whoever gets to use them. But did you ever use the chainsaw GameCube controller?
Yeah,
it didn't seem.
It's terrible. It's fucking awful.
I want to say, starting around the GameCube, I stopped getting like knockoff, like third-party controllers.
Yeah.
So my answer is there was an N64 one that I had. I can't remember what brand. I mean, it was probably Mad Catz, but I can't quite remember. But the thing that this one could do, because they always have like some bonus feature that you don't actually need, but then they can say like, "Hey, it does this. It's better."
Yeah.
The outer grips could rotate a bit, so if you wanted it to be a little wider, you could do that. And when you do that while you're holding it, it pinches your skin.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mine would also be an N64 era. Like our Player 2 controller was it's just the ergonomics of it or whatever are just bad.
Yeah.
Like it's like we only have a real good grip for your left hand, and then it shrinks as we go to the right.
Yeah.
It was just it had a turbo button though. So you know.
Yep. Actually, now that I think about it, I did have a GameCube third-party controller, and it had a turbo button.
My answer is also an N64 controller that I could pull out right now, but I'm not going to go grab it from the closet. And you know how, like, the middle part was okay because it was a standard, like, trigger with the analog stick. It felt fine. But you know how the other sides, that, like, if you were holding it just like a normal controller, it kind of has a shape where you can hold it at the back properly. Mm-hmm. Like, it kind of, I don't know, is rounded out so that you can grip it with your hand. This one is just kind of like flat on the back, almost like a brick controller or something. Like there's no like handle shape.
Like a SNES controller or an NES controller?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that just felt so bad. And it was like a little bit thicker than a normal N64 controller. So it just felt like you were holding this stupid looking UFO toy or something when you're playing. I never used that one because I'm the older brother. So I never had to. Yeah. Okay, Keaton Kid writes, "Hi TDP. I recently hired a personal trainer to help me get where I want to be fitness-wise. It got me thinking, what do you guys do in your workouts? If you don't work out, do you do anything for exercise?" I mean, I'm waiting for Sean to answer, and then me and Nathan can chime in after.
I mean, I was gonna go last.
Oh, okay. What do you guys do? No. And if you don't work out. I guess just not in a good routine right now. We have an exercise bike I should use more, but I just lost the caring at some point. So yeah.
During COVID, like I know, well, maybe a lot of people went for like walks and stuff just to get out for a little bit, and it was kind of a safe way to, because nobody was out anyways. Did you do walks? Or I walked again more during like lockdown time.
No, like we had a Chinook or something this week. It was pretty nice. We wanted to go for a walk, and we just ended up going to the grocery store because there's nothing to really walk to here. It's not a great walking neighborhood. So, yeah,
sure,
we're not near any parks or anything. So, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the extent for me is walking, like, and that was 2020, 2021. I would say 2022 has been one of my most stagnant years in a long time. But like before that and before I started doing office work, I was in the warehouse, so I would be physically moving for like 10 to 12 hours a day. And that's what I used to do.
I'm at the gym 6 days a week, weightlifting.
Mhm.
On the 7th day, my rest day, I'm usually out playing Ultimate Frisbee now. It used to be Quidditch.
Yep.
But I stopped that for obvious reasons.
Too dangerous.
Yeah. I also bike to and from the gym most days, so get some more cardio there too. Good on you, Keaton Kid, for working towards your fitness goals. Keep it up. It gets easier the longer you stay with it.
Yeah.
What makes the Frisbee ultimate? Like, what do you do?
So Ultimate Frisbee, you sound just like my mom. I had to. She was down here.
No.
I had to show her why it's a sport.
No, I think I'm thinking of like Frisbee golf. Like,
That's exactly what she was thinking of too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimate Frisbee is like 5-on-5, 6-on-6. You can play up to like 7s. But you're trying to get the frisbee into the other side's end goal by passing it between each other. So people are trying to like block people or deflect it in the air and stuff like that. And it can't hit the ground, obviously. So it's a lot of like, cutting back and forth to try and get open and then throw them the frisbee.
Okay.
And you do it down the field and back and forth and yada yada.
Like real time, like rugby, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And that's super popular down here because you can play it like all year round, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I do a lot of weightlifting. Specifically, like I guess it's powerlifting is the programs I follow. So yeah, good on you. I recommend everyone should work out. It's good for them. Ride a bike once in a while. That's good for you too. But yes, I'm a big health nut person, so I'm working out all the time. Which transitions into this next question. Boko writes, "What's the most uncomfortable place you've slept?" My current winter is sleeping on a combination of a coffee table and couch at a con. Would not recommend.
Like the couch was too short, so there was definitely a lot of love seats at some point in like sleepover days, which aren't great, but relative to just straight up the floor, it's way better. But yeah, also conventions. I think it was E3. I basically just ended up on a floor, but that was, it was free.
Have you ever slept in a bathtub?
No.
That sucks.
I think I've, like, as a kid, thought that would be a great idea and discovered it wasn't. It was like,
well, as a kid,
like round. It'll be cozy.
As a kid, you're also tinier, so it might be somewhat okay depending when you had this thought.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took
cars aren't great.
Oh, cars are bad. Yep.
Yeah. I'm not
Honestly,
good at doing
like,
that.
I can never fall asleep like on a plane.
Like sitting up just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Can't do that. But I mean that's not like the worst place to do it. I used to be way better at sleeping on the floor. Now I'm just not great at sleeping on my back. So and sleeping on my side on the floor is like impossible.
Sure. I slept in a baggage cart once. I took a nap between a shift and something else I had to do at work, and I didn't want to go home. So I just closed the thing on a baggage cart and slept in there.
Oh, yeah, they got those curtains.
Yeah.
But they're metal.
Yeah. It wasn't comfortable. They also kind of have a little divot in them so that, like, if they have water, they'll drain. So it was pretty not great.
That sounds like the winter. But okay.
Yeah, this isn't as bad, but I think this might be my weirdest. I slept a lot in like my university library, just like on a chair, leaning forward onto like my book on the table, just falling asleep.
I fell asleep once in a social studies class, like in high school, and that was terrible. Not even just because it was a bad sleep and it was embarrassing, but waking up at school is a bad feeling.
Honestly, now that you said that, I spent most of my last semester in school
because I had set it up so like 3/4 of my day was all art related. So I'd
Sure.
come to school and just do art for like 3/4 of the day, and then I had social studies at the end, which I could not have cared less about. I would
Totally.
just fall asleep like every day in social studies.
Sure.
Yeah, if we want to expand it to like socially uncomfortable, it would be falling asleep in class. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It sucks, man. Yeah, it's shitty.
Okay, Hebrew Lantern writes, you insert a Q-tip too far in your ear. Hear a click, and all of a sudden, you see a panel that says your human settings. What's the first thing you do? What settings do you look for? What do you change? So you're an Android, I guess, and you adjust whatever you want.
Trying to think. So like the brightness setting, I probably turn that up a little bit because by default it's always a little too dark.
Yeah. You mean personality-wise, obviously. You're just too dark.
Yeah, I'm like, would I fix my eyesight?
There you go.
Just
Yeah,
leave it.
You could.
Wait, why was the default set to like subpar?
Oh, weird. Somebody screwed with these. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably first thing, check eyesight options. Second, just to avoid this exercise thing, just adjust weight. There's like a slider.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, it would probably affect something in your brain that made you like your metabolism faster and you make you more naturally like inclined to do exercise, right? It probably wouldn't just.
Or it could be a mental thing of like make you want to exercise.
That's what I mean. Like you
increase the drive or something. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, I would take that like worrying about the future and anxiety thing and put it from like a 5,000 maybe down to like a 10, like a normal level. That would be really helpful.
I would definitely put the like need for sleep at a minimum.
Oh, okay. Like Einstein settings or something.
You know those people that can like function on 4 hours of sleep for whatever reason? They're just like hyper efficient.
Oh, like Coach Quinn Snyder of the Utah Jazz. Yeah.
I want to be like one of those people.
Okay.
Oh
also,
yeah.
Language settings, I'll just select them all.
Totally.
Ooh.
Yep.
Instant polyglot. Yeah. What do you change? Like hairstyles also? I'd at least cycle through them. Just because it's
right
fun.
now you can change your hairstyle.
Yeah, that's a thing you can do.
But at the touch of a button, it would just.
Am I a weird Android where I have like plastic hair that never changes?
Well, it's like Jude Law in AI, where he can just like dial his color. It's looked convenient.
Oh, okay.
So,
sure. Yeah. If it's something that's like today, I'm feeling like a mohawk.
Like Gigolo Joe, what do you know? And then boom, different hair. These are quotes from this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the not having to sleep as much, like not feeling hungry, you could still eat to enjoy food when you want to, but not feeling like you need to eat would be nice.
I think that would get dangerous because you would start to get like malnourished because you wouldn't eat.
No, you would just turn that setting, like turn malnourishment sim off.
Oh, so you're just putting like easy mode on?
You're just putting on the flag is like malnourished equals false.
I just want God mode.
Yeah.
Where it's like always full to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Hunger doesn't go down.
I'm just saying groceries have stayed expensive. Like everything's getting expensive.
More so, yeah.
For less that used to do. Like if I could survive with less, that would be fine.
I wouldn't mind like an option to turn taste off sometimes, because then I could eat just like some food that I know I'm not eating enough, like greens or whatever. Like I don't like broccoli, but
even better, turn it on so that you like that stuff, and then when you eat it,
that's an idea.
You get enjoyment out of it rather than just turning off the dislike of it.
Sure, that's a more optimistic way of putting it. Yep.
I think the winner is language selection, though. Like if you could just turn something on in your brain, just understanding languages inherently would be really, really, really good. VGC Kenny writes, if you were to make a game based on your high school experience with fictional elements, what kind of game would you make?
Like Persona. I don't know. They kind of aced the school simulator side of like, oh, this is a more exciting version of what it's like to be a student. But yeah. Or Bully, I guess. But that was not really the
just like an open
experience.
World game, essentially.
Right, yeah.
No.
But
I mean, I liked high school. My high school experience. Mine would probably be some kind of like art game where you get to like make art, just because I ended up doing so much art throughout high school, and then because obviously went off to an art college.
Mine would be like a time management sim of some sort, where you're just putting numbers into different things and you end up failing chemistry, essentially.
Yeah, I'd want to avoid the anxiety part of the school experience, but yeah. Be like Catherine.
The game would actually be like Amnesia.
You were in a love triangle in high school?
No, just the like weird pyramid puzzle things, but it would be like a test chasing you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some sort of anxiety-inducing gameplay.
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar of just like you're walking down an endless hallway looking for a classroom that doesn't exist. Because I've had that nightmare.
Slide puzzle, but the pieces are obviously not all there.
Yeah.
It's like,
I've had these nightmares already. Still.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be like a Sura's Wrath, because that's when they took my daughter.
Yeah.
You just mash X and you have 6 arms. Beating up.
Gu-Tang Clan asks, unsure. What game have you played the most hours in? Not franchise, single game. If you know the hours, that's okay to admit it.
Oh, it's World of Warcraft. I've like a year and some in real time in that because it was over a decade.
I don't think a MMO ever hooked me that bad. I'm trying to think.
I'll think of an answer that isn't like, well, yeah, of course, because you logged in every day as like your social network as well as game. I'll think of something else.
Mine's probably Apex Legends at this point, and I don't know the hour count. I think I can check it on the Xbox, but I don't think I can check it.
Actually, yeah, like this everyday thing, it's hard for me to say how much I played Counter-Strike Source. I don't know if Steam tracked that back then, like in 2004, 2005. So it's, single player stuff. It's probably Dark Souls across all platforms or Skyrim, but I would still probably give Dark Souls the edge because I tried to beat it on PS3 also, and I have the Switch version.
Wait, recent? Yeah, PC. I also bought the Switch version for some reason.
Like I have it on 4 platforms, and I've played some hours on all of them just because I enjoy doing it. So, and 3 is honestly making me want to play 1 again. So
here we go. I've put 25 days into Apex Legends.
Jesus, okay, that's pretty good. On Steam, I have 365 hours in Terraria, but other than that, I'm just trying to think on console. It's probably like Resident Evil 1, especially when I started speedrunning it this year. Like, it's probably that.
Really?
25 days is 600 hours, so I can tell you I have put 619 hours into Apex Legends.
Okay.
Wow.
But Resident Evil is like 3 hours long. Like, how many times have you gone through it?
I mean, it came out in 96, and I've revisited it probably at least once a year as a comfort game.
Okay.
And he's like, 50 years old, so that's like 150 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, is that the last question?
Yes, that's the last question. If people would like to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, @TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Tunic.
Dark Souls 3.
And mine's Tunic.
You guys win.
Okay.
Some things to look forward to. Nathan, talk to us about what you're up to.
Oh, we're still doing our Roger Ebert season. I think Speed 2 is coming up, like the movie he got the most crap for when he was out on the street. Because he said it was good. That's the boat one. Boats are slow.
Yeah.
So it's quite a watch seeing it gradually crash. And that's the Thrill Ride sequel. So yeah, OK Video is the name of the show. And we're going to talk about that movie. So yeah.
Look forward to that. What was the latest TVP? Batman? The Batman episode is up.
The Batman.
People can go listen to us talk about that. The current poll for April's TDP Plus game is currently live. It's pretty much down to Tunic versus F-Zero X. So go decide which of those two games, you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Other than that, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.